Hey guys,
Hello.
have you ever thought to yourself about like what if a sexy vampire flew into my bedroom right now?
Every day, every night,
Every
second.
night I go to sleep and I'm like, I hope a vampire disturbs my sleep. And alas,
Never has.
never has.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
You know how people have
This
stuff
is-
to keep away vampires? I'm gonna make up a thing to
You
attract
do
them.
stuff to invite
Reverse
vampires.
garlic.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Divers and Drivers.
Welcome back.
Welcome. It's so nice to have you. Now in November.
Wow.
Wow, we've made it this far. We're almost done with the year. We're so close to finishing the year. We're your hosts, Juana Moya. I use she, her pronouns.
And I am your host, Quinn Cologne. They, them, theirs.
This is our
Okay.
second ever spelling test episode. Yay! For those of you who are new here, spelling test is the episode category where we talk all things witchcraft, spirituality. Spelling test. Water is cleansing in all of its forms. Therefore, when you take a shower, physically and spiritually, you are cleansing yourself.
Spelling test. Remember to charge your tarot cards because they deserve it and they work hard for you, and that's not nice.
And remember, kids,
Practice safe hacks.
Yay! Look at that. We actually remembered our intro for once. We went over it before we pressed record. Topic for today. What's something I've noticed recently, and not just recently, like for the past few years at least. A lot of people online, and like a lot of like the spiritual side of TikTok, back when I still had TikTok. It's on Twitter and on Instagram a lot too, and Facebook. But where I notice it most is on TikTok, is a lot of people, a lot of young people are trying to get into spirituality, which I love. I love seeing it. People interacting with alternative forms of spirituality. Mwah! Incredible. I love it and I support it. Right? However, it's been very popular for people to just throw around the term and practice of manifestation. You've probably heard it. There's like, some life coach on Twitter being like, if you work hard and you visualize it, you can manifest it or whatever. Or somebody somewhere being like, I need $200 for these concert tickets. Help me manifest it, guys. Right? Or like I used to see on TikTok a lot, like different methods of manifestation or, using affirmations to manifest. Right? And so the thing is, fantastic that people are getting into it, right? I love it. I love to see it. That's, some of those methods are, helped me when I first started my practice in manifestation, right? But now I've been doing it for over a year now. I want to say like a year and a half. I've been seriously practicing manifestation, and a lot of what I have manifested has come true, right? But a lot of the ways that people are, spreading it online, like if it's the plague or something, a lot of the ways that people are spreading it or, sharing it aren't sustainable ways for the practice. Like a lot of the tips that they're sharing aren't, and I'm not going to say that they're wrong to do, because there's no wrong way to manifest. But the foundations that they're built upon aren't sustainable for, good outcomes and good rewards of this practice. Because manifestation at the end of the day is just about attracting what you deserve and what you want in your life. It's a lot of just throwing around, really simple and easy methods, but it's not a lot of teaching the foundations of manifestation, and that's why people get discouraged, and that's why people think that manifestation doesn't work, because they don't do their own research behind it.
I don't know about Twitter and stuff like that because I don't have Twitter, and I definitely don't know about TikTok now. Anyway, I don't pay attention to TikTok. I have no idea what's going on there. I remember when I had TikTok, manifestation was getting super popular, but I think this just goes for New Age spirituality in general, because manifestation is very specific. And what I've noticed in general with, although I am kind of minimizing my social media intake, or I'm trying to, I do absorb a lot of spiritual content on there. And there is a lot of New Age spirituality and New Age manifestation. And a lot of it, it's complicated because on one hand, it's like, I'm glad that this generation is wanting to be more spiritual, because you can see it. A lot of people, a lot of young people, are looking into new forms of spirituality or focusing on spirituality more, etc., which is good, because focusing on spirituality I think makes you a nicer person usually.
Yeah.
Like genuinely. I don't know enough about manifestation itself to really comment on the state of how it's being treated, but I will say in terms of New Age spirituality and stuff like that, I find a lot of content creators that are popular spiritual people are mostly white, including manifestation people, mostly white, which I find is a problem. Like the other day I was researching stuff about opening chakras or something, and which are very whitewashed, I was literally like, the first video that came up was like, I don't know, the most views or something, but I purposefully did not click it because, and this is no shade, I purposely did not click it because it was a white person, and I clicked the video underneath, which was a black woman, because I was like, I need to, actively work on broadening my spiritual intake, because a lot of famous content creators are white.
Nowadays it's with this rise in spirituality that we're having, which again is not a bad thing. It's a lot, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's a lot of Urban Outfitter spirituality. Yes. It's a lot of white sage to cleanse your home.
Oh, and my God.
And it's a lot of the New Age spirituality that's out there is actually introduces practices and tools of spirituality, but it doesn't introduce the foundations of it or the history of it.
And it's also a lot of spirituality that I've seen that is becoming popularized is it's not telling you to buy things necessarily, but a lot of it is focusing on physical things, right? I've seen so many, and this is just spirituality now, I think a lot of spirituality and spiritual people get obsessed with buying spiritual items.
And I'm a victim of it, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, I think we all are.
Not outside of
No.
I mean, we know
literally
when we're
look at all the crystals that I have. Why do I have that many? Who fucking knows? But
we know we're doing it.
Yes.
Right?
But
and we're more conscious about it.
The problem is when the problem.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying the problem is when a content creator makes content and prioritizes showing physical objects rather than talking about the actual practice, which I guess could also relate to manifestation if it's focused on, I don't know, crystals or something, because when you look at spiritual stuff, there are a lot of spiritual content creators who a big majority of the videos they make are thrift hauls, witchy thrift hauls, or tarot collections, or tarot unboxings, or mystery box unboxings, right? And that's a lot of content that I see, which is just it doesn't focus on what spirituality and witchcraft is actually about. That's just my opinion. And also a lot of it is very overly positive, which I hate.
Yeah. That actually does relate to another point that I wanted to make about manifestation, which manifestation, a lot of the way that it's been introduced to people, at least on TikTok, is very easy, accessible methods of manifestation. You do the 1, 2, 3 method. You do scripting, but it's like repeating the same phrase over and over again, or like a number of times, and you use numerology for it. So like you do it 4 times to bring stability, you do it 3 times
for abundance.
For abundance, 10 times for an entire, like a whole world, a big life change or whatever, right? Which again, aren't bad ways to do it and aren't bad ways to go about it. The thing is that there are so many different styles of manifestation that I fear that these pages and like these spiritual pages on TikTok and on just general, online media, I fear that they're pushing the envelope, that there's a much more limited range of how to do manifestation than there actually is. Right? And I feel like I forget. I should put it out there now. When we say manifestation, we mean this as a practice to, again, attract whatever it is you desire into your life. And it's all about just bringing in and creating the reality that you want. Right? Money, cars, jobs, opportunity, travel. Just anything that you feel that you deserve, you attract.
Another thing in regards to they just limit the amount of stuff you can do with manifestation, I feel like those pages also always make it look super easy.
Yeah. And the thing is, manifestation can be easy. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of symbols. It's a lot of, visualizations and affirmations. And it can literally just be looking yourself in the mirror and telling yourself, I deserve X, Y, and Z. I'm going to get X, Y, and Z. It can be as simple as that. But the thing is, the backbone and the point that they don't emphasize about New Age spirituality and just about manifestation in general is that it is half how you do it, and then the other half is discipline. Like anything you do ever. Right? But discipline is what makes the manifestation work. Because if you say once to yourself or to somebody, like, oh, I'm getting my dream car in April. And then that's all you do for it.
Yeah.
The universe isn't going to reward you. And it's not going to match your vibration, and you're not going to attract it. Right? It's work. It doesn't have to be hard work, but it is work. And that's the thing. You have to find the methods that work for you. Scripting, which is one of the most common ways that I've seen it done, is literally just taking a notebook and writing in your notebook as if you already have this item. So if you're manifesting your dream car, you write it like, oh, I'm in love with my car. It's the car of my dreams. I feel fantastic when I drive this car. I love all of the compliments that I get when I'm in this car. Right? And you do that, and you do it for however long that you want. But there's so many other ways to do it. Meditation. Visualizations are incredibly powerful. The thing is, manifestation is built on the law of attraction, which a lot of people who just start practicing don't know about. And that's the issue. Because research is not encouraged in these spaces. Nobody's saying, like, go do your own research and find out what works for you. They're just putting different methods out there. It's like manifestation, at least in TikTok, how I've seen it, is very much like somebody is giving you the tools to build a house, but they're not giving you the actual blueprint to build a house. Right? So you can throw a bunch of shit together, you can nail as many planks as you want, but at the end of the day, if you don't have the blueprint, it's not going to look like the house that you want it to look like. If you want to start practicing manifestation, and you want it to be a part of your practice, and you want to reap the rewards that, seemingly everybody has from this practice, you need to do your own research. You need to find out what works for you. Research the law of attraction. And then you have to actually put the work in. And you have to just go for it. I remember when I first started doing my own research on manifestation, I opened up this article that this woman wrote where she talks about her personal experiences. And it said that when she first found out about manifestation, she thought it was just about the mindset, right? And she started using it when she was a teenager in high school. And she was like, oh, I just learned about manifestation. I'm going to manifest a good grade on my test, right? And she didn't study at all, but she thought to herself, hey, I'm going to get a good grade on this test, and I'm going to get it because I deserve to get a good grade on this test. Test rolls by, she doesn't know anything. She fails. Because also, you can't only manifest and expect for it to land in your lap.
Yeah.
The universe rewards the hard work that you put into doing something. And so if it sees you doing this hard work and putting in this effort, but also asking for the reward,
it'll be like, why not?
It'll be like, yeah, sure. I see the effort that you're putting in. I see you making room in your life for the reward that you want. So I'm going to give it to you. Manifestation 101, you want to get started with it? Do your research. Find out the methods that work for you. I'm not even joking when anything can be manifestation. Literally fucking sex magic can be manifestation. You can literally, like time it with the phases of the moon. Fucking dial the rotary. Make the bald man cry. Fucking, do whatever you have to, and then visualize yourself in that moment being like, yes, I'm having sex in my new car. And then boom. That's a valid form of manifestation. Like, I'm not joking. It can be anything. What these pages do get right, that I will give to them, is that it is about your mindset. You have to believe that you deserve what is coming to you. Right? And it can be hard for some people, of course. You know? That's why you have to start small. I see bitches all the time being like, I'm in love with this guy. I'm going to manifest for him to fall in love with me. Which, first of all, no, because
that's fucked up.
That is fucked up. You don't manifest somebody's will to bend because you want something from them.
So many people are so self-absorbed.
If you want to manifest love, you manifest new love. You don't manifest for someone to love you.
Yeah, that's not healthy for you or them. And the
then that
universe
shit will
is not going to
backfire,
like it. The universe does not like it when you fuck with other people's trajectory in life. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say it.
People who have never done this before, the first things that they do straight out the gate is, I want to manifest for someone to fall in love with me. Or I want to manifest an acceptance to this college, which is what I did. Manifestation, you need to learn how to use it, which it's a skill that you build up.
Practice.
You know, it's practice. Practice
like every
makes
other thing
perfect,
in life.
And you need to build your self-confidence when it comes to it. You can't just start manifesting that you're going to live in a penthouse and that you're going to move in next week when you've never done it before. You need to start off small. But you have to believe that you'll get it, because if you say that you're going to see ice cream, but internally you're like, this is stupid. This is not going to work. The universe doesn't work for me like that. I've never seen this happen this has never happened to me. Why would it start happening now? That's debilitating, and that's going to fuck up the rest of your practice.
Y'all need to learn how to do research, man.
Witchcraft is so much research.
Too many people ask really dumb questions. And that's not to say y'all are stupid.
No, we love you. But you guys our listeners aren't stupid.
Our listeners are the smartest people on the planet.
Our listeners are literally like geniuses. You have such a high IQ for listening to this podcast.
Having like Facebook, which is like Witchcraft Facebook, which I find to be really helpful sometimes. There's often a lot of stuff on there that you're like, because it's a lot of older witches who use Facebook. Mm-hmm. So you get a lot of older... That does make sense. Yeah, you just naturally get a lot of older experience, like older wisdom. That being said, you also get a lot of fucking dumbass shit on Facebook. But that's besides the point. You gotta learn how to differentiate the two. There's a lot of people who ask, like new witches, who ask the easiest stuff that I'm like, you can just Google this. Like, they're like, what can I use rosemary for? How do I smoke cleanse my house? How do I do this? I'm like, literally? Did y'all forget that Google exists? Research is difficult, I'll say. But it's also so fucking easy. It's also the easiest thing. You Google it, and then there will be a billion different answers, and all you have to do is read them and pick the ones that make sense.
I will say, recommendations for your research if you are starting a practice, please don't you have to learn how to identify New Age websites
Yeah.
from actual witch
Yes.
websites. A really good resource, surprisingly, is YouTube. I feel like people forget this, but in all of witchcraft, manifestation included, you can change different, you can change different methods to suit your own needs.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, oh, you script every day for 20 minutes every day, every morning when you wake up and every night when you go to sleep. No, it could just be right before you go to sleep. Or it could be in the middle of your day. Or it doesn't even have to be scripting. It can be a million other things. You don't have to meditate every full moon. You don't have to use amethyst for protection. You can use so many other things, and you can mix and match to suit your own needs and to suit your own budget and whatever what your limits are and where you're at.
I saw this on Facebook, and I wholeheartedly agree. Experimenting with magic is one of the best ways to learn about how it works. Because then you experiment with shit, and you're like, hey, maybe I'll try using rosemary and garden sage in this spell, and I'll see if it works. Maybe I'll take some frog fruit, throw it into a bag, and try and make a ward. Let's see if that works. And that is what will help you learn more about your craft and
you
the craft
build your repertoire. You build the thing of the list of ingredients that you use, and you build your experiences. For a spell, I've never seen anybody do this before. But for a spell recently, I harvested my own eyelashes, which is something that I've never seen anybody else do. I've never heard of it done. I'm sure somebody's done. I'm sure I'm not the first person to invent using your eyelashes for a spell. But you can, Quinn, you've taught me this a lot. Like in living here and living with you, you've taught me this. That anything has a magical property if you
Yes.
really imbue it with that intention.
Yeah.
Why did I use eyelashes? I feel like eyelashes are fantastic for manifestation. Why?
You wish on them.
You wish on them. You literally wish on eyelashes. An eyelash falls on your friend's face and you're like, hey, you have an eyelash, make a wish.
I don't do that, but
I do that a lot.
You do that.
I've been doing that ever since I was a kid, so of course I was like, yo, what if, for my manifestation, what if I actually did that? And I feel like it's been going great for me so far. I love it. I'm gonna keep doing it. That's my tip of the day. Use your eyelashes.
Tears.
Harvest. People do that in
I know.
spells. Harvest your tears. A lot of people harvest hair from different places that we won't go into.
Some people harvest period blood.
The thing that I will recommend for everyone to start manifesting is that if whatever you're manifesting in any way, shape, or form, you have to get incredibly focused and specific. You can't just say, I'm manifesting love. What kind of love?
Yeah,
How do you want it to arrive? What partner do you want?
Don't assume the universe magically knows what you're talking about.
Don't worry about how you're gonna get it. In scripting, that's a big no. Is that you don't write, I'm going to get $1,000 because I'm blah, 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 blah. You write it as if you already have it, and you are like, I'm so grateful to have this money, I'm so abundant, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, the point is you have to be incredibly specific. I was manifesting an acceptance to my dream school. My dream school happened to be and I've spoken about this in the last spelling test when we talked about, I talked about a prophetic dream that I had in relation to this. My dream school was a private art school in Boston, which meant if private schools are expensive for college, even more so if it's an art school, right? So I manifested my acceptance to this college, and it was great, right? I got my acceptance letter after 2 years of working, and I'm super proud of it, bro. Are you kidding me? Yes, I did that, and nobody can say I didn't. Here's the thing, though. I manifested the acceptance to the college, and it came. The thing that I didn't start manifesting until after my acceptance letter, I manifested a full ride to this college. After I got my acceptance. Right? I've always wanted a full ride to this college. And that was my mistake. I wasn't ultra specific with my manifestations, I would always, because I was so worried about getting into the school that I forgot about paying for it, right?
Yeah.
So I would write, I feel so great being in this college. I feel so great, blah, 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 blah. I got in. 2 weeks later, I got my financial aid award. And that's when, I got a pretty big scholarship, but it wasn't what I needed to attend the school. I was going to be attending for roughly 2 years because I was a transfer student, and roughly it was going to be $74,000 for those 2 years. I couldn't afford that. My family couldn't afford that. So I decided to not accept my spot at that school, and I'm at my current college, which I love and I'm very happy about. Again, divine timing is a huge thing. So it might not have been what I've been planning for 3 years, but I'm incredibly happy. I'm making connections.
And you did get a full ride in the end. It just wasn't to the same college.
Yeah, I did get a full ride. Wasn't to the same college. And I did get my acceptance to that college. It's a cautionary tale only in the sense that you have to be specific with what you want. I'm happy where I'm at. I don't regret not going, genuinely. You just have to make sure that you know what you're talking about so the universe can give it to you. Because the universe answered. And I got rewarded for that. Just not in the way that I had in mind. Because I didn't communicate that. Now your turn, Quinn. What's your cautionary tale in terms of manifestation?
So, my cautionary tale, again, is about specifically, phrasing. At my school, I'm currently in a production of Angels in America.
Woo! Can't wait for that.
Yeah. At the beginning of the semester, we had general auditions. And so one of the things that I was manifesting for general auditions, because we do musicals and we also do straight plays and whatever, blah, blah. One of the things that I was manifesting for general auditions was to have an important role in 2 shows, right? We were doing there was a lot of shows happening. I don't remember what they all were. One of the shows was Ragtime that I think at the time I wanted to be in. Now I really don't want to be in Ragtime. But at the time I was interested in it. And I think that's basically what my phrasing was for that manifestation. To have an important role in 1 or more shows or something like that. I don't know. And I talked about this briefly in another episode. I forget which one. I think it was Getting Older. How there was a run of the Crucible going on at my at my school. I ended up being wardrobe manager. This is what I talked about in Getting Older for the Crucible, which is an important role. You're in charge of costumes, divvying out costumes, fixing costumes if you need to.
And the way that you spoke about it made it seem like an incredibly important role with the way that you spoke about it. Talking about people running up and down the fucking thing, being super disorganized with their costumes.
Yeah, it was funny. There were 3 wardrobe managers, which also I would like to say is interesting because it was like the only time that the professor had ever done that. I remember she said when we were first announced that we were the costume managers, her assistant was like 3, and she was like, I'm trying something new. And I was like, that's interesting. And now I'm obviously in Angels in America. It's whatever. And so that's just my little cautionary tale of, yes, I have 2 important roles in shows, but it wasn't the role that I meant. I meant being on stage. Instead, I was an important role backstage, which was fine. I had an enjoyable time being wardrobe manager. Being crew is very important. It's very fun. So yeah, phrasing is very important because if I had phrased it correctly, it probably would have gone differently. Not that I care. I'm fine with how it turned out, but it's a little funny.
It really just comes down to your methodology. How much you're willing to put in is how much you're willing to get out. But the biggest piece of advice that I got is that to make, like, the final ingredient to making your manifestations happen is that you have to live as if. And what that means is that you have to, do the work. You do the spiritual work. You have to ask for it. You have to visualize it. You have to then let it go. You have to let it go. Because if you dwell on it, it's only going to emphasize the fact that you don't have it. thesis statement of manifestation. Do your research. Believe in yourself. Be confident, because without confidence, it's not gonna work. Act as if you already have what you're manifesting. Find different... I'm getting the dog excited. Find different methods that might work for you. Ultimately, manifestation is the work that you're willing to put in. Whatever work you put in, the universe will reward. I think everybody should manifest, frankly. I see all the time how people are like, yes, I use visualizations to be successful. Like, I think Oprah has talked about it at some point, which, like, yo, Oprah
talks about it a lot.
Oprah be like a reliable source. So, be like Oprah, visualize your shit, script your shit, use sex magic, use glamour magic, live as if, and then you'll get rewarded because it's what you deserve. If you make a point of saying, this is what I deserve and this is what's coming to me, it will. Maybe in different ways, because divine timing does exist.
Yeah.
I am not paying for college. I'm loving my institution. You know, it's just, things happen and you work around it, and then, you know, you get rewarded for the effort that you put into things. And that's all of life. You know, That's not exclusive to manifestation.
Okay, here is
Post of the week!
Post of the week. It is, oh my god,
Post
please.
of the week! Wait, we've never introduced Post of the week!
We're introducing it right now.
What's Post of the week, Quinn?
Oh my god.
What is it?
Please stop yelling. Post of the
What's
week.
Post of the week?
Post of the week is this segment that I don't think we've introduced ever. We kind of did it in the last Media Morgue, but it wasn't really.
Not quite.
It's close to the same idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's a post that either one of us or sometimes both of us saw during the week. Today it just happens to be this evening.
We looked at it earlier.
That we find is topical and spark something in us that needs to be talked about, or that we want to talk about.
A little bit of discussion, you know?
So,
a little bit of a hot
this
take.
is a post from Tumblr, because it's a great place to get controversial witchcraft posts and controversial posts in general.
Just controversy.
This is from the Tumblr called Witchcrafting Boop, and this post is entitled Witchcraft Every Day. I'm just going to read the post pretty much verbatim, and then I will talk about thoughts.
Briefly, and yeah.
It says, verbatim, quote, "Every time I hear someone say you shouldn't work with spirit/deities if you can't commit to daily practice, a bit of my soul goes, I mean, one small hex won't break the bank. Parentheses, I'm joking. No, but really, I assume that anyone who says that just really needs everyone to think that they wake up every day at 4 a.m., down a tea blend, chug a prayer, cast a circle with one leg, and enchant the muses with a 3-hour ballad before starting their daily offerings and altar cleaning. Honestly, I find y'all exhausting. Not only will you say anything for clout, but the performative nature of your existence is like a physical siphon I can feel draining the happiness and life from your surroundings. If you don't believe in mental illness, just say that. Baby, there ain't nothing wrong with being stupid. The problem arises when you neglect to tell your audience that, and then your one brain cell-fueled mouthhole decides to let loose words that are inevitably going to find their way to some well-meaning practitioner who already feels guilty enough about their low spoon days. So for that, I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up. The fact of the matter is, no one asked. They didn't ask for your opinion nor mine. And the reason for that, my little gumdrop button, is because neither fucking matters. Like, I love to break it to you, but in the grand scheme of things, your little piss-cold hot take doesn't carry any weight in determining what will or will not work for literally anybody. Chums put it well, but I will paraphrase because I know this is already a lot of big words for you. It's none of your business.
Yeah, hot take. That's a good take.
It's a good take. I would say I have not worked with any deities and somewhat spirits, and I have this middle ground of agreeance, right? Mm-hmm. This kind of is topical in a way, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
It doesn't have to be a deity practice. This can be transferred to
it can be just practice everyday witchcraft. Low spoon days exist, and sometimes low spoon days genuinely turn into low spoon weeks or low spoon months, and that's how life is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's literally how life is. That being said, it's important to try and prioritize some level of spiritual whatever, but that doesn't mean, like, meditating or whatever, because sometimes that can be really, really hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even
I have trouble meditating.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. I haven't meditated in so long. Even just going outside, I view as spiritual, or noticing when something is beautiful that, you usually don't notice, or lighting a candle, or drinking fucking water, or drinking tea, or whatever. Just something that you deem as spiritual, I think you should do every day just for your own well-being. But this also just relates to, like, I don't know.
It's a little bit elitist because not a lot of people have the same resources that these other practitioners have. Not everybody can dedicate an hour to, all daily altar cleanings or like daily, deity worship.
It's a take that I've heard before from a lot of people. And I agree. Only start working with spirits. I agree. Only start working with spirits or deities when you're ready to. Mm-hmm. That being said, it's not like these spirits or deities are gonna hate you if you don't do one thing a day with good reason, of course. Mm-hmm. I've seen
deities will hate you when you're being, vindictive.
Yeah, I've seen stuff where it's like, if you promise to do something and then don't follow through for no good reason, you will be punished for that. I saw something a while ago. It was a TikTok, but I saw something a while ago of a practitioner saying, I think it was Persephone or Aphrodite that they worked with, and they promised they would bring her home a candle or something from work on the way home. And they didn't do that, and then their rose quartz earrings that they left on the altar for her broke. Mm-hmm. Because they promised something and then didn't follow through. I'm assuming just because they forgot or didn't feel like going to the store when they should have. Mm-hmm. Rather than, obviously, if something dramatic happened and they got into a car accident or something, I'm sure the deity wouldn't be like, too bad, bring me home a candle. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and this I feel follows with mental illness as well, because we can't sit here and say, well, these spirits and deities have no sympathy, and they don't, because it is sympathy, they can't be empathetic towards us. It's impossible, and we can't be empathetic towards them because we have no idea that connection, whatever. Yep. So, but it's not like, of course they would feel sympathy for us, because 9 times out of 10, these beings have existed for what? Millions of years, usually, sometimes less, sometimes whatever, it depends on the entity, whatever.
Generally speaking.
But, especially if it's old deities, they have worked with people for so long, and they understand that human beings are broken. We're a little fucky-wucky. Yep. And, even now, I mean, for me, I am working on getting back into my practice. I had a big lull in my practice for a few weeks recently, and I need to do some divination and talk to my guides, whatever. But point is, I don't feel the energy from my guides being well, we're disappointed in you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel a little bit of frustration, which is natural when someone that you're working with, because that's what it is. It's basically a work contract kind of. But when someone that you're working with stops following through, even if it's a personal thing, because I've had that where, I'm sure we've all had that, where someone doesn't follow up on a contractual agreement that was made, and it might be a completely valid reason, like they had a family emergency or whatever, it's still frustrating. Yeah. That they're not able to do that. And you're still allowed to be frustrated. And you're still allowed to be frustrated, just like the guides are.
Reasonably so, though.
Reasonably, yeah. But it is very, what I'm trying to say is there needs to be a level of discipline when working with other entities, especially, and with your own practice. I think a level of discipline, like we talked about with manifestation.
Yep. Bless you.
Bless you, Mary, is going to help. However, it's not the end of the world if you miss a day or two for for needed reasons, for understandable reasons. And I've seen the take of like, well, you can't, you know, if you work with spirits or whatever, you need to be prepared to, you know, sacrifice all your time for them and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, listen, man.
They're not kids.
No, they like
they understand.
And it's also like it's very dependent on your relationship with them. Like if someone isn't devoting enough time, you think, to a deity, that's not your business.
You're not worshiping
unless they
deity,
ask,
you know?
unless you're worshiping the same deity or working with the same deity, and they ask for your advice, don't give it.
Yep.
Even if it's just a general post, like I say as we're making this, but I'm saying like don't sit here and say that people who don't do specific stuff every day or don't spend 3 hours doing only spiritual stuff a day aren't working as hard as they can, because you don't know that.
Yeah. Sometimes, and also a lot of people forget, and this is something that I'm trying to incorporate a little bit more in my practice. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is nothing at all.
Yeah.
You know, so like, of course, do it with intention. Be like, this is my day of rest. I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z because it is draining and I need to recharge. You are like a crystal, bro. Go lay down in the sun. Go recharge. Go lay down in the moonlight. Go recharge. Go take a shower. Recharge. You gotta be kind to yourself.
Eat food. Drink water.
Eat food. You know, like you have to, in any practice, witchcraft or not, just general spirituality, you have to figure it out the way that it works for you. And you can't, of course, you can look to others for assistance and, you know, as inspiration, but ultimately, a lot of, you know, and I see this all the time too in just like lifestyle videos on YouTube or whatever, where it's like the woman wakes up at like 4 a.m, she goes for a 2-hour bike ride, then she does yoga, and it's like, not everybody works from home and has that schedule. Not everybody, you know, not everybody has the ability or the energy to work consistently for a few hours a day, and that's fine. It's just as long as you are putting in the effort and the intention and you're doing what you can within your own limits to practice, that's okay.
Yeah, you are your most important spiritual tool. Mm-hmm. And without you, no matter what deity, spirit, etc., what your daily practice, whatever
tool,
you're doing
whatever,
for, none of it's gonna fucking matter if you cannot do it. Mm-hmm. If you're overworking yourself, like, for example, this is an example from somebody else, but those of you who follow Chaotic Witch on, I'm sure you're aware that they have discovered that their matron is Diana, etc. Diana, I saw this on a TikTok that they made, and I don't have TikTok, it was a compilation, so don't come for me. But Diana told them, like, and this is just an example because, you know, it seems like it fits the topic, told them that they need to just chill and not do anything. And she's going to... Oh,
coming from Diana.
Yeah. They need to chill and not do anything, and she's going to help them through a spiritual awakening. And their goal is to just let it happen. Don't try and do stuff, because then they're going to get overworked. And that's quite literally like the best example I can give of telling you that sometimes the best, like you said, sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing and just let it happen. Because if you're not functional, no matter how many stones and offerings and food and whatever you give to these beings, candles you light, it's not going to matter, because it will be empty and lifeless without you. Mm-hmm. And they understand that. If you are not able to give the right energy and intention to them, nothing you do is going to matter as much as you just sitting there and being like, I understand I'm supposed to do this thing for you. I can't today for whatever reason, and I apologize, and I'm giving you my energy through saying this, and etc. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah, I tend to overwork myself sometimes when it comes to my spell work, at least. And you've seen this happen, where I will be preparing a spell, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this, also this.
Oh my God, yeah.
This, comma this, and then halfway through the spell I get incredibly burnt out and I'm not able to do the full thing and I have to put off the rest for another day. Some spiritual stuff can be incredibly draining, and that's fine. I'm not going to overwork myself because I said I would complete a spell.
Yeah, I was
if
literally
I
like,
need
this
to,
is so much that you're saying right now.
If I need to, I'll finish it on another day. You know, of course you can time it to whatever moon cycle or whatever day of the week that you want, and it'll still work if you don't fulfill all of the timing needs, right? You just have to. I guess that's the thesis of the episode. Is just, if you're going to be spiritual, you have to find ways to make it work for you.
Yeah.
You know, work with you instead of you chasing some unattainable ideal because that's what you heard would work.
Work it around your life, not the other way around. Good post of the week.
Good post of the week.
Thank you,
Thank you again,
Witchcrafting Boop.
Witchcrafting Boop, and thank you, Skater Witch, for. That's you?
That's
thank
me.
You. Thank you,
That's
Skater Witch, for picking this post. Thank you so much. All right. Last segment. We're gonna keep it short and sweet. Short and sweet. I grabbed an easy book for it.
I bought you that book at the Strand in New York.
Oh, I miss New York. All right, we are doing book fortunes. I grabbed a really easy one, and it's nice. It's called Quotable Women, a collection of shared thoughts. It's just quotes by famous women. Woo. You know, we can dig into these as deep as we want. All right, Quinn, I'm opening the book. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right, left or right? Which page?
My right.
Your right, so my left. All right, this is by Dina Shore, American entertainer. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Never heard of her.
Don't know who that is.
Trouble is a part of your life, and if you don't share it, you don't give the person who loves you enough chance to love you enough. I like that. That's the fortune.
Read it again.
Trouble is a part of your life, and if you don't share it, you don't give the person who loves you enough chance to love you enough. That's really sweet. That is really sweet. Don't bottle shit up. If you're having trouble with your spirituality, if you're having trouble with anything in your life...
It's very topical to the episode.
Talk to people about it. Because again, sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing, but also sometimes the best thing you can do is share. So if you've got something on your mind, dear listener, if you got something weighing you down...
Find someone to talk to.
Find someone to talk to. There's always somebody to talk to. I had a friend earlier who I barely talked to at all message me about something that he was, something that was worrying him. And I was like, hey, man, don't even fret. I've been in the same situation. And he's like, thanks, man. And I'm like, you're welcome, man.
Talk to
and then
plants.
We made out. Just kidding. We did not make out. Talk to your plants if you have to. Talk to yourself if you have to. Sometimes talking out loud.
Just talk out loud.
Sometimes talking
talk
out
to your
loud
house, talk
will
to your
literally...
floor, talk to the stars, talk to the moon.
Talk to whoever. Talk to your dogs. This one wants me to pet her. And I am, with my feet. Anyways.
Guys, listen. Here, make a noise. Yo, that was such a good noise. Hope y'all heard that.
Anyways, thank you for coming to this TED Talk. Yes, that is what it is. Thank you to Post of the Week. Thank you to Book Fortune. Thank you to Quinn for listening to me rant about manifestation for a good long while.
Woo!
And thank you, listener. Most important of all, thank you for listening to our second episode of Spelling Test. Remember, practice safe hacks. You can find our socials down in the
description.
Give us a like. Give us a comment. Give us
Divers and Drivers on basically everything.
Divers and Drivers on basically everything. Listen to our playlist that we have out.
We have a playlist. It's with connected to last Medium Morgue,
but it's a good playlist.
It is.
All right, so share this episode with whoever you want. If you start practicing manifestation, let us know. I'd love to hear how it goes.
Yeah.
Reach out to us if you have any tips, questions, cookies, comments, etc.
Concerns.
And have a wonderful evening, listener. Morning, afternoon, Saturday, weekend.
We love you.
Week. Have a good week. We'll see you next time for our Media Morgue episode.
Yay.
Ooh. Anyways, listeners, we love you. Have a great evening. Oh, goodbye.
Bye.